It's so unfortunate that today that name Ezenwanyi has been bastardized by all sorts of people who are into different diabolic things. I won't call it culture. It's not culture. It's diabolism as far as I'm concerned. But during the time of Ezenwanyi, when she took that title, there was no such thing. It was actually an honor. And it was the people of Obinagu that chose that name. She wasn't the one that chose the name. Because we looked at her pedigree, we looked at what she has done, and we felt that she was a queen among women. And that was why we gave her that title, deserving as it was. But unfortunately, too, so it's not the kind of Ezenwanyi we are seeing these days. You see some quacks in different corners and they're answering Ezenwanyi. They are doing some diabolical things. No. And unfortunately, I don't think anybody will be proud to take that title Ezenwanyi today because of this thing about the name having been bastardized. So that is it. Then it was almost every woman wanted to also take the same title, but not anymore, unfortunately. My name is Okobo Vero Onyia. Omuabo, the traditional head of Akpolo village, Obinagu town, which is the local government area of Enugu State, which is the village ebe Ezenwanyi actually Makiashi, Lady Vero Onyia. Omuabo Okobo Ezenwanyi, born on the. I want to ask you Ezenwanyi in details in your mail. In Obinagu, but not even only in Obinagu, in Nigeria as a whole, because she was very well known all over the country. Nimbido Ezenwanyi Bada Obinagu, na Obinagu. Okotala Enugu, the next village called Enugu, that's where she comes from, and married into Akpolo, which is her own village. And while she was alive, she was so well known and so prominent all over Nigeria, Enugu State, and of course Obinagu, that there's no way you go and mention him that she wasn't, mention her that she was not known. To start with, she was a very successful businesswoman. She was actually into fashion. In those days when 99% of clothes worn by Nigerians were imported, she was one of the first people to start a fashion factory. I'm not saying a fashion shop, a fashion factory known as Essential Garments in Lagos. The hall where they were making these dresses was as big as a football field, because I've been there somewhere in Yaba in Lagos. And of course, she was a philanthropist. With her money, she helped a whole lot of people, trained a whole lot of people, was one of the major pillars of the church here in Obinagu, St. Dominic's. You cannot talk of St. Dominic's Obinagu today without mentioning Ezenwanyi. It's not possible. Same thing with Obinagu culture. She helped so much to promote the culture and the social lives of our people that at a point she was, as a matter of fact, she was the first and only female president general of Obinagu Town Union till date. And at a point, the only woman with a traditional chieftaincy title, not an honorary chieftaincy title. There's a difference between honorary chieftaincy title and traditional chieftaincy title. That's where the name Ezenwanyi of Obinagu came from. Okay, many of us benefited from her. I, for one, she was a mother to me. When in Lagos, I'm still in Lagos. Everything, if you have any issue, any problem, go to Ezenwanyi, she will welcome you. In Obinagu here, the same thing. So much so that she does not know how to discriminate. You go to visit her, sometimes she doesn't feel like coming out. As big as her house there is in the village, She doesn't feel like coming into, she will take you to her bedroom. That's how simplistic she was as a person in spite of her wealth. So there's so much to say. It wasn't just business. She was also, to a reasonable extent, an administrator. I know that at a point she was a member of the Enugu Stadium Management Board when Engineer Chris Okoye was the chairman. So she contributed so much to development of our people, to development of Enugu State, and of course to Nigeria. Okay, like I said, let's start from the church. The existing St. Dominic's Obinagu, she almost single-handedly built the new church where we are today, although at a point other people came in to assist. And as President General of Obinagu, she also laid the foundation for the water generation, the borehole, the first and foremost borehole we had in Obinagu. When no community knew what was called borehole, Obinagu had a borehole. She was the architect of it all, with the assistance of one of our other brother, Engineer Siwayene. They brought that borehole. Okay? And then Obinagu was among the first communities in then Anambra State when Jim Obodo was the governor. She was instrumental to ensuring that Obinagu was among the first communities to have electricity. Even when many of the communities around us here didn't have electricity, Obinagu had electricity. She also was instrumental to it. And a lot of other things I may not remember. Who didn't know that? I mean, except we are not listening to Oliver the Cook. Was it Oliver the Cook? People's Club of Nigeria. She's the one they talked about, Lady One Nigeria. Ezenwanyi, Lady Vero Onyia. There are not two of them, she's the one.
Are you proud to come from Obinagu and refer to Lady One Nigeria brother?
Of course. Like I said, don't forget I said I personally have benefited. I'm one of the beneficiaries. When I left University of Nigeria Nsukka in 1985, after my after my master's degree program in 1987, she was one that helped me to get my first job. You know, she had wanted me to work with Enugu State Stadium Board, then Management Board. But along the line, in the process of the interview, the chairman of the board, Engineer Chris Okoye, was so impressed with me that he now wanted me to work with him. And I was supposed to be the public relations officer of IAS Courier. I don't know if some of you may not know of IAS Courier. It was owned by the Okoye family. And like I said, yes, I'm very proud to be associated with her, to come from Obinagu, and to call her my auntie with all pride. Yes, why not? Nobody can fit into her shoes. We're only trying to, live up to expectations. But as for her shoes, they are obviously too big for anybody. The truth of the matter is that, I don't know if Obinagu will be lucky again to have somebody of that, of Ezenwanyi's personality and everything. But yes, Obinagu is one big, happy, united family. We are doing our best. We have had excellent president generals along the line who have also tried to ensure that Obinagu is developed. If you go around Obinagu today, you'll see for yourself. Obinagu is the GRA of Enugu State. Anybody that comes to this town is always amazed. This is the only community that almost all major roads are tarred. This is the only community that has 2 Catholic churches and 2 Anglican churches. As small as we are, we're almost the smallest in Umuneke. The only town that is smaller than us is Abodo. Every other town around here is bigger than us, as small as we are. We have boreholes everywhere. Today, I was telling you about one borehole in those days of Ezenwanyi. Today, we have more than 10 boreholes in various different parts of Obinagu. So much so that our people, nobody in Obinagu today has to go more than 400, 500 meters to get clean borehole water. That is how much effort Obinagu people have made to live up to the foundation she laid for us. Well, okay, yeah, it's so unfortunate that today that name Ezenwanyi has been bastardized by all sorts of people who are into different diabolic things. I won't call it culture. It's not culture. It's diabolism as far as I'm concerned. But during the time of Ezenwanyi, when she took that title, there was no such thing. It was actually an honor. And it was the people of Obinagu that chose that name. She wasn't the one that chose the name. Because we looked at her pedigree, we looked at what she has done, and we felt that she was a queen among women. And that was why we gave her that title, deserving as it was. But unfortunately, too, so it's not the kind of Ezenwanyi we are seeing these days. You see some quacks in different corners and they're answering Ezenwanyi. They are doing some diabolical things. No. And unfortunately, I don't think anybody will be proud to take that title Ezenwanyi today because of this thing about the name having been bastardized. So that is it. Then it was almost every woman wanted to also take the same title, but not anymore, unfortunately. The truth of the matter is that Ezenwanyi was exemplary. Every young woman should actually look at her life and try to see. It may not be easy to get to the level she got to, but she was one hell of an Amazon who believed that she can succeed through hard work. She didn't have to depend on anybody, particularly on any man. She worked for herself, toiled, sleepless nights, perseverance, everything that is required for success, which today a lot of our young ones, not only young ladies, including young men, are not ready to work. The only way to success, genuine lasting success, is through hard work. There's no shortcut to success in life. If you try to cut it short, you will crash. So my advice to all our young people, particularly the young girls, is you can make it by yourself with God. Yes, there will be mentors, there will be people to help you, but do not think that any man, especially for the young girls, will sustain your life for it. Go for it, work, study, do whatever you have to do. Be patient. With time, it's always a matter of time. Always a matter of time. Our young people these days are so impatient, they don't want to wait for the God's time. They don't want to lay the appropriate foundations. These things are very important. Work hard, lay the foundation, do what you have to do, then pray, and you'll be successful in life.